Hi, and welcome to the Beer Temple. I am Chris Quinn. Thanks again, as always, for joining me, guys. Quick thank you to everyone who's been giving me really nice comments. Again, coming in, shaking my hand, giving me beer, leaving posts on Facebook. Thank you guys so much. Been a long journey here. I won't always talk about it, but it is something that is pretty constant in my mind. So I just wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Moving on to the beer. Oh, another thing. After last episode, I broke my tasting glass, and I don't have another one at the store, so I have to get more of those glasses. For those interested, I will be carrying those glasses from Spiegelau, I believe is how you pronounce it, out of Austria. And I will be carrying those glasses, but for now, I'm just going to have to use my Pipeworks glass. And congrats to Pipeworks, who is named the best new brewery in the galaxy on ratebeer.com. So congrats to those guys. We actually had their very first beer on this show. So yeah, who knew? I think I called it at that time that in 1 year they will be the greatest new brewery in the galaxy. So obviously not the case. So that I called it, not that they are. Gonna try something new here today. I'm gonna have two beers from High and Mighty, and I do often do profiles of breweries. I'm doing that here again today, but I'm also then afterwards gonna open these beers up at the shop, which is not new either, and then ask you guys who come into this shop, what do you think of the beer? Should I bring it in? And kind of have a little bit of democratic involvement in what gets carried here at the Beer Temple. That said, it is still a totalitarianism, and I have final say. But I don't know. I'm interested to see how this plays out. So I got to have some fun too, guys. So let me dump out some of the water here. So we have High and Mighty Beer Company. Been around, I think, not very long, 4 or 5 years, something like that, out of Massachusetts. Started as an offshoot of Shelton Brothers. One of the Shelton brothers decided to get into the brewing side of things. So this is a beer from Massachusetts. It is called High and Mighty, and it is distributed through Shelton Brothers, or imported or whatever through Shelton Brothers, who is a big, famous beer importer, known for some of the big boys like Mikkeller, Evil Twin, Tuul, Cantillon, a little brewery called Cantillon that you guys might have heard of before, stuff like that. So thought it would be interesting to try some of their stuff. Interesting concept. So it looks like they're taking old world styles and trying to do them justice while also making them appeal to the American market. So that sounds cool to me. Let's see if it's any good. The first one here is Beer of the Gods. This is their German Pils. For those of you who know me, you also know that I like me a good German Pils. And it's using 100% German ingredients, so I would think that they import all the malts and that they get German hops. And let's see what we got going on here and how it's different, or if it is just a classic German Pils. Very light straw color. All right. Very aggressively hopped with late edition hops, more so than I would typically see a German Pils in America. I can't say that I've ever had any fresh German Pils in Germany. I have not been to Germany. That's on the bucket list. I will get there. But it's definitely European hops. It's got that kind of dried herbal note to it. Some oregano, like a dried grass. A little bit of a lemony note, and it's nice. It's also got a pretty strong minerality, a little bit of sulfur going on here, which I also like. Not like a rotten egg sulfur, but like a clean minerality to it, like a rockiness. So thumbs up. It's also got a nice kind of clean grain bill, some good kind of like bready, crackery notes here. A lot going on. Definitely more aggressively late edition hop. I'm getting a lot more hop aroma than I would typically expect in a German style Pils. Okay, so this is a good beer. It's a good beer. It is aggressively hopped. It's got a ton of aroma and flavor hopping going on in that same kind of European style that I was talking about. Reminds me a little bit of like a Prima Pils here. I don't know if it's specifically Saaz hops, but which probably isn't, because that's not a German hop. But 100% Bavarian ingredients. So yeah, probably not. Yeah, because Czech would be Bohemian then, I guess. Yeah. But, you know, definitely some noble hops going on here. It's good. It's aggressive. I think it's exactly what they're saying they're doing. They're staying true to the traditional style, but maybe amping up a couple of the ingredients for the American market. You know, I think this would be kind of a pale ale lover's Pils. Really good beer. I'm going to go 92 with this beer. I think it's a winner. I'm curious to, sorry for rubbing my nose on camera. I'm curious what you guys have to say about it. Really good, you know, Pilsners, since they're so light and delicate, it's hard to hide any flaws here. So it's very well made as well. And, you know, at 4.5% alcohol, easily quaffable. Good on that. Okay, so this is their XPA. And I think this was what they said was their cross between an English pale and an American pale. And you know, for those of you guys out there who may know or may not know, those are very, very different things. An English pale is you know, like a bitter or an ESB. You know, those are all considered pales somewhat, or an IPA, an English IPA. And then you have the APA, which, I mean, there are absolutely bonkers hopped APAs out there. Basically just bone dry IPAs sometimes, I think they are. So they're saying this is right at the crossroads. I think it uses both American and English style hops. I'm curious to see how those go together, since they're drastically different in profile. American is much bigger. Citrus, pine, tropical, fruity notes. English, earthy, sometimes dirty, woody, sometimes herbal as well. So I'm curious to see how this plays. A little bit darker than the lager, this being an ale, and not that makes it darker by necessity. A nice kind of a golden color to it. A little bit of carbonation. You know, both of these beers, you know, you really kind of have to get in there and think about what you're drinking. It's not one of those ones where you pop it open and the aroma just shoots to your face, which I love. You know, it's a little bit of subtlety in there, and I like it. Because at first I stuck my nose in and I'm like, oh, this beer's a little aromatically challenged, so to speak. And then I realized, well, no, you get in there and there's quite a lot going on. So there is definitely the American hops in here. Lightly hopped. It's got a grassy note to it, like a clean, fresh cut grass. It also has, again, some lemony notes. Maybe like some lemon pith or lemon rind. A little bit of earth, and there is a definite kind of caramel backing note to it, but light, like a light biscuit maybe, more than caramel. Yeah, biscuit. And it's lighter than I would typically expect from a lot of late edition. And late edition hops, it means later in the boil. Later in the brewing process, the later you add the hops, the more aroma and flavor you get out of them. So it basically is bittering is early edition, then mid and later edition is flavor, and then the late edition and dry hopping is for aromatics. But it's nice, almost a bit of like a grapey note here too, like grape leaf. Definitely get that grape leaf, maybe a hint of fennel. Somebody's calling me from Seattle, Washington. I will hang up on them and continue the show. Bitter. Clean bitterness though, but bitter. Not a lot of, big malt character to stand up to the bitterness, so it comes through. For those of you who like kind of a lighter style beer with a crisp bitterness at the end, this is for you. I do like some of that kind of grapey note to it as well. Grape leaf, not grapefruit. Not grapefruit and not the actual grape itself, I meant. Although not grapefruit either. Good malt backing, good malt flavor to it, but still dry. So I can taste some of that biscuit, but I'm not getting any of that kind of sweet toffee biscuit that you get from an English style ESB. So I would say maybe they're saying what they're doing. They're kind of hitting that crossroads here. Quite bitter. I would kind of want some food with this or something, maybe some salty snacks to go with it. A little bit too bitter for me. Decent beer though, and I think one that people certainly would like and attach themselves to. I'll go 89 with the XPA, but still certainly some good beers here. Definitely liking that Pils, but I'm a Pils geek, so that's just me. So yeah, let's see now what you guys think. If you guys have already had these beers, definitely let me know that. I would love to know that. And yeah, you can put your comments on Facebook, or my favorite place for the comments is on the site itself. I always appreciate that. So feel free to go to craftbeertemple.com and leave your comments there. And that's about it, guys. Thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun, and I'm very curious what you guys in store have to say now about this beer. And like I said, about what the comments say. So yeah, this is High and Mighty Brewing, and that's about all. I've got to go start my day, but for now, I've got some great beer to drink, and hopefully you do too.